We've been on a quest since 2016 to change the narrative of how people see High Point. And we do that through beautiful, curated visual storytelling. We do that through relevant information. And we do that through a person-centric lens that prioritizes the voice of every individual in our community. What we create at High Point Discovered, I truly believe they're works of art. From our blog posts each week to our annual print magazine to our podcast, where we actually get to hear the voices of those in our city. We're tapping into that creativity. We're taking cues from the amazing artistic industries located right here in High Point, and we want to cast everyone in High Point in that light of creativity. Whether you're an entrepreneur who's creating a business plan, or a barista who's creating a fabulous latte, or a teacher who's creating a lesson plan that's going to change the way your students learn, we want you to tap into that creativity. We want you to feel like you can take ownership of the mentality that this is a creative place. We're at the center of the creative revolution, and you have a story to tell here.
High Point Discovered really brings to life the stories of the people in the community who are making a difference and who make High Point a better place every day. And High Point is very fortunate to have such a beautiful resource to highlight all the things that are going on and to showcase that. Beautiful visuals create interest and they generate buzz. They make people give something a second look. They make people stop and maybe read beyond the headline. I wanted to join the team because I really wanted to work for an organization that had so much diversity. And diversity in terms of stories, subjects, themes. Every shoot is different, and every individual story is inspirational in some way.
What I enjoy about writing for High Point Discovered is that it's an opportunity to tell a story about real people and real lives, which is creative in a different sense, that it's not purely fabricated and it's not maybe academic writing, but instead it's the impact of the people and turning that narrative into something that can further impact more people.
Pretty much everyone that I've ever spoken with, there's something there that connects us. So I try to use that to build that relationship and then tie that into their story. In honoring their story, I want to honor the individual. I want them to look at that article, look back on it, and be proud of it.
And what we celebrate here at High Point Discovered is people who are proud of their city, who are proud of their work, who are passionate about leaving this city better than they found it. We want to celebrate those small businesses, and one of the best ways to celebrate someone is to tell their story. We want to lead by example. We want to be a voice of creativity that's elevating everything that's happening in the city. The work of High Point Discovered doesn't happen without a creative collective. We bring a lot of voices to the table, visual and audio and verbal storytellers who help us tell the story of our city through a diverse lens of perspectives so that we can continue this cycle of pride and discovery in High Point.
So I think the fact that High Point Discovered is a nonprofit and there is no monies that have to be paid to get a feature or a write-up in the thing, I think that's huge because it's free advertising, and it's free advertising that's done correctly.
I trust High Point Discovered because of the transparency and everything that they do in capturing the stories, taking the time to build a rapport with the community, because there are so many people in the community that may not know about DIUP, but with the mediums that High Point Discover uses and the time that they spent with us at DIUP, we know that that story is going to get out and it's going to be genuine so that so many other people will learn about what we do.
Excellence is really a currency, and it's something we pride ourselves on at High Point Discovered because it's the currency that builds wealth towards trust. And we're communicating across a lot of different media to a lot of different audience members, and we want to connect with them. Where do our stories come from? They come from you. They come from the real men and women who make up the city of High Point, who bring us every day something new to discover, whether that's a new small business that just opened, or a leader who's taking initiative to start a new nonprofit in our community, or a teacher who has dedicated his or her life to serving students. We want to hear those stories. We want to hear them from you. Our team is awesome about getting out into the community and meeting those individuals and being in spaces where those stories are being told, but we can't do it without the support of of community members who are also out there being advocates and ambassadors for High Point. So we ask you, what story do you have to tell in High Point, North Carolina?